Well, I've come as far as I possibly can on my travel east. I'm at a place called Sea Pauling, and it's very, very windy and it's drizzling with rain, but I'm going to go and see the beach. So while Gwendolyn waits in the car park, Muriel's going to take me to the beach. Well, I asked Muriel to carry me up this hill, but that it would do the slope, but it's so slippery that she won't go. So I'm going to have to park her up there and hang on to the handrail and go and have a look at the beach. That's all I've come to do, and then I'm going back. Well, Muriel obviously knew something I didn't, because if we got up the top and slid down there, I'd have been straight into the sea. It's high tide, no beach. And it's not a nice day at all. And certainly not one to sit outside and have a soft, whippy ice cream. That was a nice little trip out, but I'm now back on my pitch at the dog inn, or the dog pub. And there I am, and it's a very mixed day because there's blue sky now. Oh well. Well, apart from the overall adventure, there was another reason for coming here, and it was to meet a rather special man. Come on. Well, I'm about to enter a shed which I've seen numerous times on YouTube, because it belongs to this gentleman here.
To the shed.
Thank you. Algie. And he builds aeroplanes. And he's building this one here now. This is he's got a little...
This is my mad shed for building and engineering. So all sorts of things get built in here or restored, going from vintage cars, vintage boats and aeroplanes.
Fantastic. At the moment, Algie's building a single-seater biplane, and he makes a wonderful job of it. I've watched every video of the progress. This one comes out every week. And I've got to tell you, even if you're not interested in aeroplanes, please have a look at his channel, Flying Cub with a K, U-B, because it's not just an aeroplane, it's a work of art. And DIY people, especially when into carpentry, even if it's not for an aeroplane, you will learn something, I promise you. The tailplane and the rudder, I didn't see you building those because you'd done those earlier on, hadn't you?
Yes, so they were the first bits I did, because I bought a tailplane kit to see what I thought of the Fisher kit and their plans. And I was quite happy with the support and bits I got with it. But having said that, I have carried out modifications on just about every stage. I use my previous engineering experience to do things the same way as they've been done on classic aircraft. And so I've been talking to Fisher about some of the modifications I've done and had their approval. For example, the gussets here are all inset, so that the covering lays smooth on the surface of that. Extra little bit of work, but it just puts that little edge on the finish.
Yeah, especially when you're going to be sitting in it a few thousand feet above the ground.
Yes, I did all the structural calculations to make sure it wasn't going to compromise the strength significantly, and visually it makes the aircraft smoother. And if you take the amount of drag that produces over the whole aircraft, it's enough probably to add an extra 5 miles an hour to the speed.
Good Lord. Amazing. Well, as you can probably see from the window there, it's late, it's dark, and I've just returned to Gwendolyn, having spent about 2 hours with Algie, an absolutely fascinating man. His life experience has been enormous. The things that he's done, worked with Colin Chapman, Lotus, F1, he's been in the RAF, he's done all sorts of things, and now lectures on engineering, motor car engineering. And his knowledge is beyond belief. His ability is beyond belief. The work that he's turning out in the shed is unbelievable, and it is really, really wonderful to see. I will put a link in the description below to his channel, and as I said when I was in the shed with him, even if you're not interested in aeroplanes, it's still worth a look to see how he goes about all these things, and how a little biplane is built in somebody's back shed on a bench. Wonderful. Oh, that's the end of my trip to the east, and I'm amongst the things I love at the moment, boats. And I'm in the heart of the Norfolk Broads. Lovely place. So that's it. And back to the valleys of South Wales now. And a long drive, but I shall stop off somewhere on the way, probably. I'm well away from the Norfolk Broads now, and I'm on the A14. And I'm heading towards Pattingham, where I used to live. I was going to go down via Reading and see my daughters, but when I looked at Google Maps, the route, the traffic down there looked horrendous. So I decided to go and stop a night on the driveway of a good friend of mine in Pattingham. Making good progress, but we have the bane of the motorways. Slow traffic as we approach Birmingham. So what do you think of that, Monty? Not a lot. Well, how about this idiot then? What do you think of him? Not a lot. Nearly there, and we're passing through a village where 41 years ago I celebrated my 40th birthday. So here we are. I've arrived on my friend Jean's driveway, and the reason I'm showing you this is because earlier in the video you met Algie, who's building his aeroplane. Well, Jean's late husband Ray was of a similar nature. He restored old cars, motorbikes, and he was also a perfectionist and a very, very lovely man.
I don't have to speak in the Black Country accent.
No. So, oh, wasn't it?
Yes.
Let's make sure it's right.
Yes.
So, let me introduce my very good friend Jean.
Hello.
Say hello, Jean.
Hello, Michael.
No, hello, Jean.
Hello, Jean. just yes.
And there's Ray. And in 2001, he sailed all the way from Aberystwyth in Wales to Kalmar in Sweden with me. He was the only one that came the whole way. Lovely man. The next day I went down to Hackney Green Airfield, that's near Wolverhampton, where I learned to fly, to see if I could get a flight. Maybe you could take me up in this one, Algie, if you could put it together. Or how about this one with a lick of paint? No, I'll go to my old clubhouse, see if they can get me up. Well, there's no harm in asking. I'll go in and ask. Well, if I'm smiling, it's because I've just struck a bit of luck. I'm going to get a half-hour flight in a Cherokee. They haven't got a Warrior available, but I'm going up in a Cherokee. No, that's not me. Somebody else going to have a flight. If you want to see how my flight went, you'll have to come back for the next video. So please subscribe, ring the little bell, press all, so that you make sure you see how my flight went. And thanks very much for watching this one. Bye bye for now.